to principal.
Never
to
aspired to do anything out of being, instead of being a teacher, I also wanted to coach. I coached football, as you know, for a number of years, and was track coach for a number of years, cross-country coach for a long time. I honestly thought when I came into the profession, that's what I would do for the rest of my life, my working life. Some doors opened, and I had the chance to walk through those doors, and I ended up superintendent. They either had to fire me or make me superintendent because there were no jobs left.
Or take you out in a body bag.
That's right. Take me out with the custodians, right?
With the custodians. We love our custodians.
Opening day, by the way.
Yeah.
Every classroom, opening day, I used to lecture the students, tell them how hard the class was going to be, because they heard, I think they heard, I hope they heard, I was a good teacher, I was a nice guy, but I wanted to shake them up on the first day. So I used to basically read them the riot act, tell them there was a test on Friday worth 100 points, and then I would always fabricate an incident in the back of the class, in every classroom. I'd be talking to the kids and I would say, hey, you back there, sit down and be quiet. And the kids would turn around and I'd say, don't you guys turn around. You pay attention, keep your eyes up here. You do that again, you're
slave driver.
This class.
You were a slave driver.
There was nobody there.
Wow.
So I would always make up somebody to yell at, so the kids would think, oh, this guy's serious. So I could
so that's what it was. All right.
First day, though, you had to get their attention.
You had to get their attention. And some of those students probably became some of your dearest friends.
Oh, I still see them today throughout the district. In fact, some of the principals, Debbie Berlin,
yep.
She was a student here.
Yeah, she was one heck of a cheerleader, wasn't she?
Outstanding cheerleader.
Unbelievable.
I was at Nixon Elementary School this morning.
Yeah.
The secretaries there was a student here when I was a principal. And they're all over the district. It's just wonderful to experience that. Over there, you see the Brewer Theater.
Yeah.
Named after Phyllis Brewer.
Now, who is Phyllis Brewer?
Phyllis Brewer was, she started at Cerritos High School as a counselor. She actually started in the district, believe it or not, as a German teacher. So when we taught German here years ago. She started in the early 70s
yep.
at Carr High School.
Yeah.
She became a counselor. And then Stan Stedham was principal. He chose her to be an assistant principal.
Now Stan he used to be over at Guard, didn't he?
Stan was at Artesia,
okay.
actually, then came to Cerritos High School. It was good for Cerritos High School that Stan came. Stan, personally, was quite an intellectual, very gifted writer, a divergent thinker, a very creative guy. It was his goal to make Cerritos High School a focused academic school and to directly take on Whitney as the most academic institution in the district. And so Stan brought in what we called at that time was the UPS, University Preparatory School. Phyllis worked the schedule. I was a teacher at the time. We had a set of UPS teachers, and it was to raise the academic bar at Cerritos High School. And Stan was here, I think, when we moved that critical mass from a typical high school to an academically focused high school, where the peer pressure in a lot of schools is to not necessarily focus on academics. What Stan ushered in at Cerritos High School was that student peer pressure really helped guide students to a more successful academic life.
Is that the same? And that held true till today?
Yes. It is the culture here. You're expected to do well. Students that don't attend well, that don't do well in class, they don't gain esteem here because there's no future.
Is that a necessarily a good thing, or could that be a negative thing also?
I think it's a good thing because it's like it develops a culture of success, and if done properly, the school engineers within the structure of the school ways to keep kids attached and ways where they can find to be successful. Mm-hmm. You want to celebrate academic success, but you also want to find ways to help students become academically successful. And the school is geared to that. The Brewer Theater is named after Phyllis Brewer. When you were here, Randy, it was called the Little Theater.
Yes, it was.
Phyllis Brewer died, unfortunately, of breast cancer. She was a dedicated employee, just a wonderful person.
She was an amazing lady. Yes, she was. I can attest to that.
So we were able to ask the board to name the facility after her, and that they were kind enough to do that. Out front, and where we first started talking, I should have pointed it out to you, there's a set of bricks there.
Mm-hmm.
the cornerstone, the first brick, is Phyllis's.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And her heart and soul were in this school. And she neglected her own health to pay attention to the school. And she's just a lovely person. I would hope that all of us would aspire to be as dedicated and as knowledgeable as Phyllis was. Just a wonderful human being.
What's your biggest regret
Gosh, I don't
during
know.
your career at
I have
ABC?
so few regrets. It would, maybe I didn't get the job a year earlier. You know, I made mistakes. I guess the regrets would be the times when I wish I would have done a better job, maybe been kinder. At first, I wish I was a more attentive teacher when I was younger. I got better at that. I tended to scold kids too much and not strive to have them be creative. I strove at the time to stifle behavior because I was afraid if you let too much behavior go on, it'll be bad. Later on, I hope to be able to say I orchestrated behavior, creative behavior. You want kids to work hard, you want them to be creative, and that's what I would aspire to. I wish I would have started that professional concept of having students be creative and work hard a little earlier.
What is
In
it
my
that?
class,
Yeah?
when I got good at what I was doing, I never worked on discipline.
Yeah.
Kids never misbehaved.
Yeah.
The best discipline is a good lesson plan. Kids are focused and engaged. They're not going to mess around.
What do you want to be remembered for?
For about 20 minutes. No, for truthfully, to the extent I helped teachers and principals be successful, that I equipped them and enabled them to be successful, that's what I'm going to be remembered for. They know what the answers are. The answers are with what they're doing. If they come to me and through the years that maybe I've developed some capacity to say, I'll get what you need to be successful. That's the role I would hope people would say he played.
Do you ever realize how many thousands of lives you personally have changed over the years? Does it even sense to? Do you? I hate to say it this way, but do you get that?
I do and I don't. If I think about it too much, it'll make me cry. People have seen Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
Yes.
Robert Donat, I think, was the actor. At the end of the movie, he's dying. And somebody comes to him and says as he's dying to a person standing at his bedside, it's a shame he didn't have any kids. Well, I've had 3 lovely kids of my own, but he wakes up and says, that's not true. I've had thousands of them.
And that's what you've had here.
I see that always it's hard for me to finish that sentence.
That's amazing. Well, Dr. Smuts, I appreciate your, this has been a great half hour. I know it's already been a half hour, and I just say thank you. And what an absolute journey and adventure this has been for you, and I'm so glad that I've been a small little part to be able to witness it. And with so many thousands of other students, we just want to say thank you, and we love you. And bon voyage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not into the sunset, but just bon voyage. What are you going to do, by the way?
You know, I don't know. I'll play with my grandkids, fish. I want to read. I love local history. As you know, we're looking into the Garbaleno Indians. I want to find out more about the role they played here. We're going to do some work on that. And
you know what I always have thought? I thought you'd make a great elected leader. Politics in your future?
No, I don't think so. My wife has elected me to be her husband.
That's good. That's the right answer.
I aspire to do that well.
Well, God bless you, Dr. Smuts. We really appreciate it. And this has been just a great, great stroll down memory lane.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.